to Life on Turkey Lane. Are you hungry? I don't know what time it is where you're at and when you're watching this, but right now it's dinner time at our house, and I'm getting ready to make a special recipe, something I've not tried before, but I think it's going to be really good. Over the weekend, we went to a place in Barnett, Missouri. It's a big Dutch country market. It's a big surplus grocery store. They sell lots of bulk food, Amish foods, and just some different surplus items. And I kind of hit the jackpot on something. Now, I've been trying to eat like a low carb, keto sort of diet to help with my diabetes. And I hit the mother lode on something that I really like. While we were there, I was able to get Egglife Wraps. I don't know if you've ever heard of those, but I was able to get Egglife Wraps, and of course it's the flavor, it's not the original ones, it's the everything but the bagel ones. So anyway, I got them for 50 cents a package, and normally these are about $5 a package, and the only place I can find them in my area is at Aldi grocery stores, and the closest Aldi's to me in either direction is 35 to 40 minutes away. So when I got these, I thought, what a perfect thing. And so I bought nearly a whole case of them. I know I feel like a Bogart, but there was plenty left for other people. But anyway, at 50 cents a piece, I could not pass up the deal. So anyway, these let me grab a package out and that we're going to use for our recipe tonight, and show you what they look like. And maybe you've seen these in the store and you've wondered what you could use them for. So over the course of the next few months, I hope to maybe make a few recipes using these. But let me grab a package of these out and show them to you. Okay, so these are the Egglife Wraps. This flavor, like I said, is everything bagel. And basically these are if you've never heard of them, these are pretty much a no carb. I don't think they have any carb, less than 1 gram of carbs. So I would count each wrap as 1 carb. But these are, I love them. You know, they're made from egg whites, and there's only two or a couple ingredients. This one has a few more ingredients because of the seasonings. But the original Egglife Wraps is just egg whites and a thickener called xanthan gum. But anyway, I have been using the original Egglife Wraps for a number of things. One being I slice them up into like a thin noodle type thing, and I use it when I make my broccoli chicken Alfredo that I love so much, and they're wonderful. So when I found these, I thought, well, you know, these are flavored, and I'm not sure how I'm going to like them. I've ate them but once before as sandwich wraps. But there are so many more things that you can use these for. So tonight my recipe is going to include a package of these, and but let's discuss a few of the things that you can use them for. Like I said, of course, you can use them as a sandwich wrap, or you can slice them up, like I said, thinly, like Alfredo noodles, and use them that way. They make excellent like tortilla shells. You can bake them in the oven and make like a pizza crust type thing out of them. And there's many other things that we can do. So anyway, out of these 14, I got 14 packages of these. Out of these 14 packages, over the next few months, I hope that maybe we can come up with some new recipes to do with it. And tonight, I think I've got one. Probably there have been some people do this before. As a matter of fact, I'm sure there probably have. Maybe not out of the everything bagel flavor. But anyway, tonight, let me turn you down here and I'll explain what we're going to do. So yeah, as you can see, I have a bunch of them. But I have a couple leftover hamburger patties. I have some mozzarella cheese, some cottage cheese, a little bit of marinara sauce. My husband tends to open jars and I don't finish it all. I've got some Parmesan cheese, an egg, and some onion. And so tonight we are going to make a low-carb lasagna. And I'm so excited to try this. I cannot wait to try this because it just sounds so good. And I thought these everything bagel wraps would be perfect because it'll be added flavor for that. So I'm going to chop up these. Let me get a better knife here. I'm going to chop up these hamburger patties here, just in some crumbled bite-sized pieces to make our sauce. And hopefully you can see that. Let's get the cheese out of the way here. And so like it's just kind of like a crumble it up in some bite-sized pieces, like if you were going to brown your own hamburger. And you can do this, by the way, just brown some ground beef and season it up to your liking. Since I already had these left over, I thought what a perfect opportunity to go ahead and use them up and save myself some extra work of browning some ground beef tonight. Okay, so I'm going to throw this over in my skillet, which I have already preheating, and let this start getting warm. And while I was over there, I went ahead and started the oven so it can be preheating. And so we're going to get some sauce. Now these are just different sauces. This one's an organic marinara sauce from Aldi. And there's just a little bit left in the jar. My husband makes himself pizzas, or my son pizzas, just about every night. So we have a little bit of different sauces. So I'm just going to combine a couple of these in the pan with the ground beef. Before I put any of that in there, though, I want to first chop a little bit of this onion and let it saute in with the ground beef. And I will tell you, we bought a bag of onions. I think they were from Walmart just recently. I don't remember if they're from Walmart. But either way, just about every single one of them that we bought, they must have been old, because they have all sprouted, and the inside, they're kind of softer, and the insides of them are not the greatest on some of them. So, but anyway, I'm just going to add some onion to this ground beef as it's heating up. And I think I'll go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of onion powder in here, just to flavor this a little bit more. A little bit of garlic powder. And I think I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of turmeric. That's good for inflammation. And let's see if I have any Italian seasoning in here. Yeah, I have a little bit of Italian seasoning, so we'll add some of that. And I can post this recipe in the description box for you. But I thought it would be interesting to try to come up with several ways to use these Egglife wraps if you or any at all trying to work on eating less carbs or changing your diet for health reasons or anything. These Egglife wraps, to me, have been a game changer in my life because I can use them as for like on Taco Tuesday, I can use them as taco shells or taco tortilla shells. All right, this is getting loud. I'm going to turn this burner down just a little bit. Let that simmer just a bit. Go ahead and add just a little bit more. Might as well use that jar up. Hopefully I haven't splashed anything on my blouse because I think I've splashed some of this stuff. But anyway, I'm just going to let that kind of simmer for just a little bit while we prepare the cheese portion of our lasagna. So let's go back over here to this other side of the kitchen. Like I act like I have a huge kitchen or something, and I do not. It's very tidy. But we're going to put some of this together. Okay, we're just going to use another bowl. And now I'm going to put some cottage cheese in here. This is just your regular standard low-fat cottage cheese. I think that should be enough. And I'm going to put an egg in there. That will help to make this a little bit more stable inside the lasagna. So I'm just going to mix that in with that. Okay, now let me get some seasonings and we'll season this up too. Okay, so once again, I'm going to use most of the same things I used before. I've got some Italian seasoning to put in there. I'll put a pretty generous amount so we can have that flavor. A little bit of crushed oregano. Now I do have, I probably should have got out a few of my dehydrated seasonings from last summer. A little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of onion powder. But tonight we'll just go ahead and use these store-bought things that I have on hand. We're just going to season that up a little bit. And now the cottage cheese should be salty enough, but I think I might go ahead and add just a little touch of salt. Okay, so probably not much at all, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. And just mix that around in there. And then now I'm going to sprinkle in. We also got at the Amish, the Dutch surplus store, one of them that we went to over the weekend, the shredded Parmesan cheese for, I think it was like $1.39 a container. So we bought a package of those. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of that into our other mixture here. Okay, and I'm going to grab a pack of these Egglife wraps out of here, and we're going to get ready to assemble our lasagna. Okay, so the sauce has been cooked. We've got this other part of our lasagna ready here to go in our pan. Okay, so I've got my small casserole pan here. This should make a good, nice 4 servings for me this week. Spray this with some cooking spray so we don't have any stickage and I don't mess up my nice pan. Okay, now I cannot find my favorite little spoon over there, so let's get these open. See if we can get them open here. Okay, so if you've never seen an Egglife wrap, they're kind of like, they almost look like a tortilla shell. But they're made completely out of egg whites. So they're basically almost zero carb. So what I'm going to do is, just like you would do any lasagna, I'm going to layer a little bit of sauce on the bottom of my pan here. We don't have to go too much overboard with it. Okay, and now I'm going to layer a couple Egglife wraps on here, and I think we could probably even cut some in half. So, let me do that. And you generally will get 6 wraps in one packet. So see, this is going to act like my lasagna noodles. And it's pretty much a perfect fit. Now I'm going to spoon some of this mixture on there. Just put a nice layer of that, and then we'll put another layer of meat on top. And I think one package should be a pretty good we'll fill this lasagna pan. So I think we'll be good there. Now I'm going to put another layer of the Egglife wraps on top here. I'm just going to do it kind of the opposite direction I filled the other one. And we'll do another layer of this sauce. Okay, another layer of this. I think this is going to be really, really good. I am looking forward to trying this. I want to leave a little bit of sauce for the top of my lasagna here. But that is looking really, really good. And I think I might go ahead and just add the rest of that. Make a nice mess out of that. Then we're going to put another layer of our noodles on here. And I'm going to go ahead and put a whole one on top there. Okay, and our layer of sauce. Okay, and the nice thing about low carb eating is you're allowed to have cheese. And so I've got some yummy mozzarella cheese here. And I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a good amount of that on the top here. And now since my hamburger is already cooked and the Egglife wraps are already cooked, and unlike noodles, unlike if you use lasagna noodles, these things are already pre-cooked and they just have to be heated. You don't have to go through a boiling stage. You don't have to get, like, you know, that baked lasagna noodles. they take quite a while to bake. This is already pre-cooked, so basically we just have to heat it through real good. So we're going to get this in the oven. Okay, I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. And we're going to leave that cooking there for probably 20 to 30 minutes. And then we're going to come back and see the ooey gooey deliciousness. And we're going to give it a taste test and see what we think of these. All right, so I'll be back in just a jiff. Okay guys, so well, my mozzarella cheese that I used, it didn't get gooey and nooey like I wanted it to. It's my husband picked this out at the store, and it's I don't know what brand it is, but he uses it for pizza, and I don't think it did great for this, but it probably tastes good. So we're gonna cut into this and see if we can get a little dab of it. Of course, it did just come out of the oven, so I know it's going to be hot. Okay. All right, so let's cut into this. And now, since this is so low carb, I can probably have a pretty good piece of this. Whoops. That was not graceful at all. But let's scoop that on there. So, well, it's not looking like a really perfectly baked lasagna, but let's see how it tastes. Turn you up here, and now I'm probably going to burn my mouth, but let's try this and see how the Egglife Wraps taste. Now, Egglife Wraps do have a little bit different of a texture than noodles or tortillas, but to me, I think they work really good as noodle substitutes. So, like I said, I'm probably going to burn the tarnations out of my mouth, but let's see. Probably had I been more graceful and let this cool down some, it would have sliced a little bit better. It would have came out a little bit better, but for sake of time, and I'm really hungry. Ooh, that's good. That is really, really good. And those Egglife Wraps work as a perfect substitute for lasagna noodles. And even though they're the everything bagel, they don't really, that everything bagel seasoning in them don't overpower the dish. It doesn't, you know, it just gave, you know, probably added a little bit of a subtle flavor. Mmm. Oh man, that is really good. And like I said, super low carb. Now, I will tell you that if you're following a super low carb diet, you probably will want to invest in some Raos marinara sauce. It doesn't have any sugar added and stuff. I didn't have any of that tonight. And I'm hoping I find a good sale on that at some point because it is very expensive. But you can make this yourself. I will leave the recipe down in the description box and let you know the temperature to bake it at and how long to bake it at. And I really think you're going to enjoy this. Even if you're not following a low carb recipe, maybe you're gluten intolerant. These Egglife Wraps don't have gluten. They're non-GMO, obviously, because there's no modified organism seed in them. So anyway, they're a good replacement for your lasagna noodles and a number of other things. And you might say, well, you bought so many of them, how are you going to go through those, you know, without them going bad or spoiling? And the nice thing about them is you can freeze them for up to 3 months, probably even a little bit longer, as long as they're in an airtight container. So yeah, I hope you'll try these. And like I said, over the next few months, I'm going to try a few more recipes using them. Hopefully you'll enjoy those recipes as well. And I really appreciate you guys. I thank you for joining me tonight at Life on Turkey Lane. And man, this dinner is going to be really good. So I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.